Hey everybody, welcome back to another day in my life video. This one is going to be volunteer firefighting. I have wanted to do this one for a while, but it's really hard to do when you don't have a scheduled shift. When you're a volunteer, you're usually on call, and if the call comes in on the radio and you're available, you go. So you don't really have a schedule to make things work around. But this day we were doing a scheduled burn, so I thought it would be the perfect day for it. I got up and went in the house, and it was early for me, but it's fine. Got to see the puppy dog, and my dad was watching a rescue show. We watch a lot of firefighter shows. My dad's actually the chief of this department, so works out in that regard. But we watch a lot of things like 911, Chicago Fire, and we comment on the realism quite a bit. But this one was like people doing rescues, heroic rescues and stuff, and it was kind of cool to watch at the beginning of the day as we're getting ready to go do fire stuff. So it was kind of cool to walk into that and be like, oh, this is a neat show that's on. Don't know what it's called. Couldn't tell you, but it was cool. I grabbed a banana on the way out the door, but we were going to one of the local shops to get breakfast food because why not? We don't usually go out and get a lot of stuff. So we're like, this is the perfect time. Grab a nice breakfast sandwich and some drinks and head over there. So we did that, and I realized how poorly I was going to have for angles this day. I was like, ah, crap. So we drive over, and this is someone has paid us to come burn up a couple brush piles that they have that they want out of the way. And that way we are there. We have a tanker there. You'll see it here in a second. And that way, if anything happens, we're already there. We can take care of it. We can watch it. It's basically babysitting fire for a while. That's kind of what this day was. But like I said, you don't really have a schedule when you're volunteer. So this was what worked best for me to be able to make this video. So we lit up the piles, and we had a burn permit and everything for these, but we used some birch bark to get them going. A little worried about that they might be a little too wet because they had been sitting all winter, but they lit up nicely. They went right up and were nice flames. But yeah, so volunteering is like I said, there's no schedule. The only time that's scheduled is like the monthly meetings. And see, there you go. She was going good at that point. And some trainings. So other than that, there's no like I get up, I go to work, I do things. It's when you're called. And so yeah, it's really hard to do these. So here I am munching, babysitting the fire. We just got a couple people from another state who moved up that were full-time firefighters, so they were telling us some of their stories of like the wild things that they've had happen where they were. We were telling them like the biggest problem we have is that sometimes it can take over an hour to get somewhere because the coverage area is so large that we have. Here I am taking some photos of the fire. The chief wanted me to take some photos. I am also a photographer. So it just makes sense that if there's something like this, I usually bring my camera out too, or other events that we do, and I take photos from. But so we were talking about those kind of things, about the pros and cons of the area. Like, we don't have a whole lot of fires usually in the area. We sometimes will get a structure fire, but it's mostly accidents or just trying to get somewhere. The coverage area, I think, is over 700 square miles, and it can take a while to get there. It started pouring rain, which was helpful because it helps you babysit the fire. But oh my goodness, did I get soaked. I had to go home at one point and change because, like, look at this. Those are my legs. It was even worse. And that's just because it rolled off my raincoat and started soaking my pants. Don't know why, but it was weird. So weird. So I went back and we were just kind of tossing some of the outlying stuff onto the fire. We let the truck go because we didn't eat it at this point. It was raining so hard. Like, look, these piles are almost out at this point. We did come back a few times throughout the day just to check to make sure nothing had lit up. But it was pouring so hard that there was no way it was coming back. So we went home, and of course it's rainy and wet and cold. So heated up some water for hot cocoa, made some mac and cheese, which was the perfect, like, warm, nice little lunch for us. I added some peas to mine. As you'll see, Dad does not like peas, so I did not give him any. But it was so good. Such a nice lunch. And then I chilled with the dog for a little bit because he was like, "Excuse me, you left me all alone for hours this morning. This is not very nice of you, and how dare you?" So I cuddled with him for a little bit before I pulled out the photos and started working on them. We like having photos of things. We try and take photos of stuff like this, but also accidents too. Like, not with obviously the people in it. We wait until the patients are taken care of, and then we'll take photos of, like, the scene afterwards. Never have people in them if you can avoid it. And if for some reason you have to take a photo with a patient in it, you try and make it so that their face is not in it at all. But it just helps document some of the stuff that happens and the just wildness of, like, the craziness that can happen. You know, things can change in an instant. But so I keep some of these photos and I sent them all to the chief. I think I had like 25 or something that I went through, and I picked out the best ones because, as you can see, I take a lot of the same thing, but you never know what one is going to be the best one. So then it was dinner time at that point, and I made pizza for the night because why not? We love pizza. We actually, the fire department got treated to dinner at our monthly meeting a few nights before by the local bank. Did like a day of giving, and they gifted us dinner of pizza. We love pizza out here. But I made some of my own at the house because we also just love pizza, and like this dough, oh, so good. But that was kind of my break a little bit to, I had finished the photos and got them sent out to, obviously, my dad across the room, the chief. But I send them through a gallery that keeps the size and makes it so they stay, it makes sure the size stays good, because sometimes you get it where you try and send photos and it shrinks them. I hate that. So as a photographer, I have a gallery that keeps the size of the photos when you put them in. Wow, I kept a lot of this in. Sorry, y'all. You just get to see me making pizza. So, oh my god. Editor Nova did not do very good at this. What the heck is going on? What the heckity heck is going on in here? Okay, Editor Nova went in and cut, like a whole minute left of me putting sauce on. I was like, what was I thinking making this video? I wasn't. It's fine. Anyway, pizza, fire department. We sometimes will do training and we'll have like a little cookout, you know? Do what you gotta do. So then the evening I spent doing some training that I needed to do, watching this video, and I had to read a plan for the department as training. This is stuff we kind of have to do every once in a while. It doesn't usually take too long, but you still got to always do it and get it done, and that way you are caught up and trained. Volunteer fire department, you do not have a lot of training sessions, so doing as much as you can to stay trained is always good. And then I put my radio away for the night, put it on the charger, make sure that it was good as we were going to bed. You want it charged so you can actually, communicate. And then the pup and I went to bed. We picked out our favorite show, Ghost, to watch while I did some reading. And that was the end of the day, doing all kinds of fire things. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, y'all!